All right, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to VR Master League here today. Exciting times ahead for us as we get ready to go with our quarterfinals, semifinals, and get into this playoff mode. So, on our booth today, I'm Palidore, being joined by got Captain Canada in here. We got so much for subtlety in the other channel, actually holding steady. We've got SirDimwi, we got SputnikKobra, we got Swiift, and of course, we got Wit doing some camera work for us today and just making sure things go all smooth, no pressure. But yes, how's everyone doing? Captain Canada, start with you. How's it going?
I'm good. Very excited to see these two really good teams match up here. And just all the good play that's happened thus far in the season. I'm shocked beyond belief. Like the whole scene in its entirety is just beyond my expectations.
Yeah, it's been fantastic. Just a lot of exciting stuff. Of course, today we have people joining us on Oculus Venues. Exciting new thing there. So we're really glad to get on here with Facebook and Oculus Venues to just spread the good word of Echo Arena. So SirDimwi, your debut here on face cams, not your debut on casting. How's it going on your end? How are you feeling about the tournaments today?
I'm really excited for the games we're going to be seeing today and tomorrow. But today, especially because we still got 4 teams from each region, and these are the best of the best that we got going on, and they're going to be fighting it out today, and I'm really excited for the games we got going on. And I apologize to everybody who has to see my face today. No, I'm just kidding. But I'm really excited for the
It's
day.
my pleasure, Dimwi. SputnikKobra, going to you. How's it? How are you feeling? Again, a lot of excitement in the air.
I just want to say that we're all excited to see SirDimwi, and SirDimwi, none of us feel that way. None of us feel that way. This is a glorious moment for all of us, for this league. I mean, I could go on and on, but really an exciting day of matchups for us, and I can't wait. I just absolutely cannot wait.
Absolutely. And of course, our youngest member, as Dimwi had pointed out just before we started. Look how young he is, but look how professional. It's the almighty Swiift. How's it going, Swiift?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm actually very excited for today, as all of you are as well. So, very excited to see these teams, of course, as they've been participating in EU from the start of the preseason pretty much, and I've seen almost all of these teams from where they started. Well, not really where they started as players, but where they started as teams, and it's been really fun to just see kind of the meta change and progress, and it's incredible how fast that people learn to just adapt to the new metas and stuff that's going on. So yeah, very excited for today.
Yeah, same here. Absolutely. The development of all these teams, all these players over the course of the last few months has been incredible from so many teams. And it's one of the beauties of Echo Arena. But that said, we're going to start here with the pre-show. And I guess we'll get started with Team Gravity. None better than that, right? With preseason champions, of course, coming in here after just a season where they came in, again, off championship glory. And started off hot, took a little break, came back, and they've been breaking other teams ever since then. Looking good, allegedly in scrims. I don't know for sure, but allegedly, as we mentioned in the cast last week. A lot of good things being said about them.
Yeah, no, Torin from Phantoms was telling me how apprehensive Phantoms are to face Gravity in the finals. Is Gravity, it seemed that Phantoms and Gravity, when they scrim, Gravity tends to take a lot of rounds off of Phantoms. And but once they go to that live fire environment, the live show, the live stream, they have for some reason Phantoms always pushes it out. Now, if it's hard to say, and Torin did not suggest one way or the other that either it was Phantoms get clutched when they're in that live fire situation, which is possible, or Gravity doesn't do as well in the live fire situation, which I doubt, because it is Team Gravity. I mean, they're one of the best. Vitrex, Al Pacino, Lewis Ammo, Simon, VR Jersey, although VR Jersey doesn't tend to play. They're one of the. There's a reason they're in the finals, and it's because they do perform in the live fire. So they're definitely a stalwart team here, and I think they have a really good shot of taking on Phantoms here in the postseason. Very, very excited to see them. They might end up playing today, so look out for that one.
Absolutely. So I know for the, for Team Gravity, the interesting thing about them is the fact that, you mentioned they're Team Gravity, right? They're a team who's been a mainstay, in Echo Arena for quite a long time at this point. But Viatrex, the longest lasting, the longest tenured member there, but everyone else there on Team Gravity just newer in the grand scope of things compared to some of these other veteran teams. Of course, a lot of new people in the game these days, but Team Gravity just being led by that veteranship. And then for Al Pacino, Lewis, and Simon, they're coming in here with overall less time played than some of these other great teams in the league. But man, have they just caught absolute fire in very, very quick succession. And it's impressive, and I'm glad to see. It's good to see no matter what names maybe shift in and out, you still got Team Gravity. It's one of the constants, feels like, of Echo Arena in that European scene. And if anyone else has any Team Gravity stories to chime in on, otherwise I can go on for a little while. I have my experience with them in the past few years, but
I had the pleasure of meeting many of the members of Team Gravity last June at Leicester in the United Kingdom. Yeah. And just a great bunch of guys. Viatrex is really easy to talk to. It was just a pleasure to meet everyone. And I'm really excited to see them play. It's really interesting when you get the personal component behind, this digital component. So when you get to see the man behind the mask or the individuals behind the mask, and, it's great to see them play. It's been great to interact with them in the past, and whether it's physically or online, and I'm really excited to see how they play. And it's a great bunch of guys, and everyone deserves a victory, but only one team's they come away with it.
That's accurate. I'm pretty sure. I'm bad at math, but usually that's the case. Captain, did you have something to add, or?
And just the, seeing the new roster Team Gravity in the past couple of weeks here, the having that veteranship, like you said, with Viatrex, and also Al Pacino, Lewis, and Simon. I've spent my time those late nights getting to the EU pubs and seeing those guys, and they are nothing to scoff at. They are like they've proven in the games so far. They definitely can stick it up there with the big dogs in EU.
Oh, absolutely, they're just they're a dominant team. And when you talk about Simon and Lewis, it goes without mentioning the stack. They're so fast. There's a lot of fast stacks across the world, but Simon and Lewis's stack, kind of the famed one over in the European scene, especially. But again, in the entire world, they very may well beat the fastest stack. It is incredible just watching them on the floor go back and forth. Right in the driver's seat, doesn't matter which one's in front, which one's in the back. They get every regrab, all the redirects. They're going to be the ones first to the disc. You can see in some of these personalized highlights here as we go through kind of the list of players too, just how some of these goals, from coming in from Team Gravity, they're going to be off of loose goals, breaking free, finding those open threes. That's often a factor for them. Coming back into the game after their little hiatus, they were struggling to make some of those threes at first, but over time, I think at least they've proven recently that rust is gone now, and I would expect a little bit of that back and forth in those potential open three situations. But we'll see. It kind of depends on how these teams open up and if there's going to be any of those early game nerves, things like that, coming into play. But yes, we'll move on to the next team on the list, which I don't know what's calling who that might be, but we're going to go here to, because we got 4 teams, and Team Gravity will be in this first matchup, by the way, on this channel against Washed Up. So that will indeed be a factor. And for Vertigo, though, they're coming in against the Phantoms, or against the against Team Gravity. My bad, on the Channel 1 here. So for Vertigo, they're a team who it was kind of one of those teams like Swift alluded to earlier on, who throughout the course of the season, really just improving, and preseason as well when we first saw them, and coming in here, claiming that 4th seed. Swift, I'm curious if you have anything, any personal notes on Vertigo and just how you feel about them and their progression to become one of these top teams here in the European division.
Yeah, of course. First of all, we have to talk about Sanch, because Sanch was unable to play competitive Echo Arena at all before this because of the region restrictions. Of course, Sanch being in Russia, and he's the only Russian person playing competitive Echo Arena at the moment.
I remember that.
But Sanch is just an absolute monster at the back line, and he's been an absolute key to Vertigo's success, of course. Vertigo nowadays are they look for brawls plenty of times, so they break up plenty of stacks like Gravity and Phantoms have. So teams that rely on stacks like Simon and Lewis, they're going to struggle against Vertigo because of their playstyle, and it's almost a direct counter to something that like Team Gravity or Phantoms are playing right now, which might be for a certain reason. Maybe they're trying to just push hard through those individual teams, but it works very well generally as well. Of course, we've scrimmed against them plenty of times, and in the preseason as well. And it's just been they've gotten so good, it's ridiculous. So yeah,
absolutely. Dimwi, did you have something to say there too?
Yeah, no, I was just gonna speaking. Swift brought up the fact that Vertigo is kind of seen as a brawling team. What's funny is I talked to Twang Pants yesterday. I talked to a lot of players yesterday, but Twang pointed out that that really they're not a stun heavy team generally. It's Sanch, and it's all comes down to Sanch. He's so prolific in stunning out those back chains. He's so prolific in covering passing lanes and creating problems for the other team while he's playing on that back line, while he's playing defense. He's so prolific with it that the whole team ended up with this reputation of being a brawling team. But no, it's all it's like 90% Sanch, and it's where you
literally
get
just
phrase, yeah, it's where you get the phrase getting sanched when somebody gets sanched.
Yeah.
It's a phrase that's become common over in EU as far as I understand. And so that's Sanch is a very prolific, aggressive, stunning player. And just want to piggyback there.
Yeah, well, I guess in a sense it's I guess getting Gilligan, maybe one of the acclaimed brawlers over North America, of course, along with Yperm. But yes.
I would say that, but I would also note that Sanch has easily the best name in all of the league. It's the most quotable name. I get Sanch out of it. It's just such a great name.
There's a lot of great names. So I mean, the contest there, I would agree. Sanch is a really good name, but I mean, can you deny the likes of, for one, Twang Pants? That's a great name in itself too. Come on. Tickle Britch. I'm starting to see a theme here, actually. Lots of pants-themed names, but you know what? They make for some fun names. Nonetheless, Sanch is one of them. Yeah, for sure.
Well, and, speaking of Twang, I just got some trivia here. It's just more stuff I got out of Twang yesterday. But Twang Pants actually got his start in ESL Season 1, way back then. And he had subbed for a team known as Ding. And apparently, I was not around back then, so I'm not speaking from personal memory. This is stuff I've learned. Apparently, Ding was number 2 in EU behind only Jax, Boop's old team. Anybody who knows Boop, and Twang Pants came in to sub for Ding. In a series that day, in the Sunday Cup that day, and they ended up with Twang Pants. They beat Jax for that first place, and it earned them kind of a reputation as a super sub in ESL Season 1. Apparently, a bunch of the Season 1 players are going to be able to remember that. I, of course, was not one of them, but some of the EU players probably remember that. And it's just a fun little piece of trivia there that Twang's history goes back so far in Echo Arena, and he has such a well-known history, depending on who you ask, and it goes back to his days as a substitute. So anyone who wants to play Echo Arena and isn't on a team yet or doesn't want to commit to a team just yet, you can make a name for yourself as a substitute. Absolutely. And Twang is one of those people. Now, Twang, leading the teams that's in the Final Four here, in the finals here for EU. So there's definitely
Man, Dimwi taking a cuff, wink and nudge. Well, while Dimwi hopefully gets back in a moment, we are going to go to the next team here, which is going to be Washed Up. Speaking of Boop a moment ago, why don't we check them out here on the pre-show? And Dimwi, maybe. I'll see if we get him back. In any case, Washed Up, the team that is logoless, rankless, MMR-less, recordless, plus and minus less. But you know what they've got more of? A lot of talent. They're coming in here not off of season 1 participation. Initially, they're a team who surprised a bit, in a sense. For those who know the roster, not surprising at all, but came in for the Challengers Cup, last chance qualifier of sorts to get in. And yeah, they just had a dominant effort coming in with so many veterans here, including, of course, Boop90, the captain, and the ever reliable player, one of those longest time players here in Echo Arena ever since the beta days. Just incredible ability from him. The thing is, at first known as an elite striker, one of the best in the world in the 2017-2018 days, but since then, honestly, we've seen it in anytime Boop has subbed. We saw it on Team Blast in preseason. He is an absolute force in every aspect of the floor. He didn't just rest on his laurels, coming into captain on the team now, but he'll fit every role, whether it's goalkeeper now, he's capable. Whether it's passing, capable. Midfielding, absolutely. He does a little bit of everything.
Yeah, for sure. Like, anytime seeing him, back when he was subbing on teams, you could, anytime he was in the game, he felt like the Rock, right? Everyone just, he anchored the team, and seeing the likes of Taco Thursday and Bad Internet also coming in there, Taco being a great goalie in his own right, this is gonna be a very defensively capable team, and very offensively capable. Like they've got it pretty well across the board.
Yeah, well, when it comes to Bad Internet and Taco on Thursday, that's another factor worth mentioning. I'll get to you in just a second, Dimwi, but just wanted to point out that, yeah, these players here, chemistry is already there because you have Bad Internet and Taco on Thursday coming in. Just in terms of VRML experience alone, they played on Toxic units together in the preseason, and then they played on Jesters for about half of Season 1 before splitting off, joining subs, and then eventually joining this team here with Boop, Gecko, and Finn, who were also all on Team Blast as of preseason. So this is not just a random amalgamation of players. These are players who have been around individually and as teammates for a sustained amount of time.
Well, speaking of teammates, Boop actually subbed for Jesters periodically earlier on in the season when Jesters was still a team there. And so Boop definitely had some time with these guys. And I know at the time, Jesters kind of wanted to bring Boop in, but Boop wasn't too interested in playing in the season. Or I don't know if he was wasn't available, didn't have the availability. I don't know what prevented him from doing it. But he wasn't able to do it during the season. And then, they say it was the two players, as you pointed out, Bad Internet and Taco, noticed that Boop and Lone Gecko were kind of looking to make something happen. They pieced it together and started this with Finn. And obviously Finn stepping up last weekend for Lone Gecko. Lone Gecko had apparently broken his arm since the open quali. And so Finn stepping up as well. It was something when I was talking to Boop yesterday, Boop really wanted to point out, or at least Bad Internet, one of the two of them really wanted to point out that Finn did a really great job stepping up last weekend to fill in for a player like Lone Gecko and allow them to get this far with this team. And they play so well together, and they have a history there. And I'm really excited to see how they match up today against a team like Phantoms.
Absolutely.
And it's worth noting that, Boop is a powerhouse. Boop is the only player to have been to every possible LAN except for North American regionals, because of course he's a European
correction.
player.
This has not been fact checked.
Played in every LAN. I will give him that. I've been to every LAN. I just haven't played in every one because things went wrong a year ago, but I was still there.
I'm looking at the notes. I did note that incorrectly. He did say, as a player, as someone who played in all of them, he's the only one. Of course, he did admit to me that he didn't fact check that, but as far as he's aware, that's true. And if anyone, I'm sure if there was someone able to dispute that, they would be on the panel here right now. So if no one's disputing that, that may very well be the case.
Oh yeah, Boop is definitely just again a constant. Kind of like we talk about Team Gravity being a constant since season 1. Boop, he is always there somewhere, dining on some team at some LAN. So indeed, not an uncommon thing. So moving on to the last team here of the day, of course, saving perhaps the best for last because it is the ever dominant Phantoms coming in with an absolutely undeniable record, 24-0 on the regular season. The #1 ranked team over in Europe, and again, for a good reason. They can do a little bit of everything.
Yeah, no, that was actually one of the things it's kind of one of the things that separates the top teams in both regions from everyone else, and Phantoms is one of them. Joker and Kang are two of the teams over in NA as well, and it's that they're not just good, they're not just really good at their game. What they've done, they've mastered all the different styles, all the different formations, the setups of Echo Arena, and they can deploy those strategically, make those adjustments whenever they need to, and that's what really sets them apart. I think that's what makes them clutch in those live fire environments that I was talking about before. I think that's what sets them apart, just like Joker and Kang from everybody else, is the ability to adjust and to play any sort of formation in answer to anything else.
Absolutely. They can keep up with the best of them. It doesn't matter where in the world. I mean, Phantoms had the entire tournament throughout season 1 been structured where teams played each other the entire season across North America, Europe. I mean, Phantoms are as good as any team. We mentioned teams like Kangarillas over in North America for being acclaimed and famed for the passing, but Phantoms, I truly believe, right there on that same level at minimum. I mean, they're fast, they're brutal, they're accurate, they prioritize every extra pass, much the same way you'll see some of that North American meta shift to and some of those top teams over there. For Phantoms, it's gotten them so many wins just over and over with just pure passing play. And the thing is, they're always constant with that. They don't let up, whether they're up by 1, they're up by 10, they're up by 15, or if they're down by 5 or 10. There's been times where they've started to show like maybe they can bleed, but suddenly it's just that consistency with the passing, the slow play, and that confidence just to execute their game. They are so good at it.
And just a quick note, and I'll let you butt in, Spot. Just when it was this team also used to be known as Ouroboros with Torin and Sundance, and they were actually the team back in ESL 3 that prevented Joker from getting to the final series. They were the team that beat Joker out in the semifinals, and that's something we're going to be talking about later today. So I just want to point that out. The Phantoms used to be Backlash. Prior to that, they were as I said, Ouroboros, and this was the team that knocked out Joker not that long ago. So just a bit more trivia history there. But Spot, go ahead.
As SirDimwi cuts me off and lets me back in, but no, this is what I'm excited.
Just kidding.
Oh, thank you so much. But this is what I'm excited about. I feel like you cut into my point. Both of you cut into my point. But this is what I'm excited about. We have such an incredibly strong team in terms of passing, in terms of form as they move up and down the court, and that's what I'm excited to see with Phantoms, is that their passing is so clean, their form is so crisp, and it's really going to prove to be amazing for these games. It's going to be incredibly entertaining, and I can't wait.
They are indeed a crispy team of Phantoms. But with that said, we got about 5 minutes or so until start time, more or less. So with that said, we're gonna split off, go back to the faceless pre-show, I do suppose. But yeah, we're gonna get right into it and come back at you for all those joining us, no matter where you are, Facebook Live, your Oculus venues, your Twitch, you're on Discord chatting, you're on wherever you are. I mean, we're glad that you're here joining us live, post, doesn't matter. Exciting games all ahead, so we are gonna get ready to be underway. So once again, thank you for joining us here at VR Master League, and Yeah, bye for a few minutes. We'll be right back. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Echobots of all ages, welcome back to VR Master League. So I'm Palidore, being joined by SirDimwi on the casting. We got Wit on the cams for us today, and we've got ourselves this first round match. It's Team Gravity, it's Vertigo, and we are about ready to go. But SirDimwi, what do you feel the story is going to be for this one?
Well, I think a big story. We're going to be talking a lot about Sanch, and because you know, Vertigo is going to be deploying Sanch against Gravity as much as they can. They're going to be wanting to shut down those Gravity chains. Gravity is so fast or so quick. They're one of the fastest in the league, hands down. Particularly being an EU team. And Vertigo is definitely going to be wanting to shut down those Gravity the stacks, the backline stacks, the defensive stacks, the aggressive offensive stacks. Really anything that Gravity's doing kind of away from the disc. Vertigo is going to try to flub that up to make room for themselves to get some points on the board. And but Gravity is just one of those teams that when they play, they come to play. They're one of the few teams that can really bring it to Phantoms, and it's going to be an uphill battle for Vertigo. Now they have faced off twice this season in the regular season. Gravity did take both of those games, but you can see, look at the records there: 12-4 for Gravity, 13-11 for Vertigo. Vertigo has many more games on the season over Gravity. Gravity did, when they did take that break, they didn't break completely. They did. They continued to practice. They continued to scrim. Looked like they didn't skip a beat once they came back. But Vertigo is definitely going to be looking to bring it to Gravity here. And if Vertigo can do it, if they can really challenge that lead, I think we're going to see a generally low-scoring game. Just for the sake of how good Gravity's defense is and how good Vertigo's stun game is.
Yeah, that's definitely something that could be a factor. We'll see here what does happen. We did mention, of course, the speed from Team Gravity, just with Simon and Lewis there alone dominant, but really all these players so good with the speed, the regrabs. That's going to be a huge factor. We can see any kind of pace. I'm not sure what's going to happen. All I know is that these teams are now here to play. We've got the viewers ready to see them play all over the stream on Twitch. We got them on Facebook Live. We've got them in Oculus venues. Exciting times. Match underway. First pass, first play. It's Lewis and Mo from Al Pacino, and that's 2 points. Team Gravity.
Yeah, it's a beautiful setup there from Gravity off of the Joust swing. Took only 16 seconds from the start of the round. Excuse me. And they moved that one down effectively, efficiently, get it right in front of the goal. Good cross pass there. And that one's going to go in for the first two of the game. And we're only 30 seconds in. We got some points on the board.
And there's a very quick rollout here from Sanch. Sanch going to loose it over to Twang Pants. Twang Pants, there's the defense from Team Gravity, fast approaching on those stacks, and maybe collecting the disc with a slap through as the comms come through. These players trying to get to the other side. The overshoot on the disc will just have it float down by the logo, and there's the redirects right back for Team Gravity, so you can see the stack speed right there.
Yeah, those are the stacks that Vertigo is going to want to be disrupting here. As Gravity now moving in on the bubble. Loose ammo on this left side on that post. Jukes off the post, gets a pass over there to Simon. Simon, taking a shot at Twang with the grab. Going to send that one away. And now a dribble here from Vertigo, as I said, go all the way into the offense, the Gravity zone here. Going to be taken by Twang. Twang under pressure, and he's going to get stolen by Simon. And now Gravity turning it around once more.
The defensive plays back to back. Both sides of the floor. There's a speeds both sides of the floor. They get by in a hurry. The shot just a little bit high, but it's going to be rebounded. And now punched out here. There's Kai slinging it over. There's 3 people from Vertigo all up in a row, lining up for that stack. And ducking, dodging, weaving, but losing to Kai, who sends it once again out towards mid. There's Viatrex, though, ever reliable, anchoring down at middle for the grab.
Getting some ping-pongy here. Vertigo's defense doing a good job of disrupting Team Gravity's push into the field here, but now Gravity pushing all the way up and on the bubble. Kai, beautiful feed there to loose ammo, but what a stop. Or did that ding? I can't tell what happened from my angle, but that one doesn't go in, and now it's going to turn around, but Gravity with the chain going to get back to it.
Right back to it. As I always like to say, those speeds, the speed from any team is going to undo so many mistakes if you're really concentrated on getting those regrabs very fast like Gravity does. Now that's going to sail right up high there. Simon almost collecting the disc as the trio of players knock it off each other's heads, but then do manage to get it out. And now Vertigo may be an opportunity, but just going to be off that barrier and couldn't get back first on the disc.
Yeah, Simon shoring up that backline there, and now Gravity is turning it right around. Al Pacino going up to Lewis Ammo. Lewis Ammo hits the empty net. Goalie's getting there just in time, but can't get the grab on it as he gets there. And Lewis Ammo is going to put another 2 in there, and that's going to put Gravity up by 4 here. But that took over 2 minutes for Gravity to get another goal there. Vertigo clearly doing a good job of disrupting Gravity's offense here.
Absolutely. The brawls, as we mentioned in the pre-show and just even moments ago, coming through for some turnovers being caused as Vertigo does roll out. They even had a chance to potentially take a lead with a 3 briefly open, but just for as much of a factor as the brawls have been, I mean, the Gravity stacks. It's kind of the tale of these 2 teams doing what they're acclaimed for, and so far it's just led to 4 points on Gravity's end. So now onto the other end, slapped out of there in a hurry as the hurried stack comes through. And backing it out to Al Pacino now as the floor gets spread just a bit, and they're going to back it out, realizing that, hey, we can spread the floor, we can force Vertigo out of position before we really make any kind of aggressive move.
And that's exactly what they were trying to do. They open up that bubble, but what a read there, Kai getting in that lane. But Vitrax getting that one right back, sending it up to Simon. And Simon's going to put that one in with the defense all over him, right in his face here. He's going to get that one in for another 2. And Gravity's going to take that 6-point lead here about halfway through round 1.
So thus far, your prediction definitely holding true, didn't we? Just 6 points on the board for Team Gravity. Relatively speaking, not in super high scoring yet. Predicated off of some slower play, some good defense. That immediate defense being played there and going into the hands of Al Pacino, who will duck through. And there's the immediate grab we talked about. So the speed might get them the goal. There's an immediate shot, but nice one from Kai up high. Gets the goal, the grab on the goal attempt. But ducking through twice is Simon with a 3-point shot. It's 9 points, Team Gravity.
Yeah, Simon over there pulling out the step stool and taking a few steps down. And of course, I say that facetiously. He was definitely just doing some squats there, and it definitely pays off as he gets away from the defenders and is able to send that one in for a 3, or first 3 on the game, halfway through round 1. And that's going to put Gravity up by 9 here, really pulling away with the lead. Vertigo is going to have to make something happen here if they want to stay in this in round 1.
Oh, this is going to be just another happening on a turnover, and Simon piling on the points. That's another 3. He definitely puts the 3 in as Simon. It's in his name, and that was a huge shot from right underneath the mail slot.
Yeah, that was a bang-up shot there from Simon from 29 meters out, 17 meters a second, which is a good shot altogether. But then to sneak it in under the shield like that was a hard shot to make. He makes it there, and Damus going to send this one over to that left tube there. Twang Pants are going to forward that, trying to forward over there to Kai, misses the mark, and that chain, look how fast that chain for Gravity is. They get there before that player can, and oh my goodness, look at the speed on. There's that Simon there, how fast he came in, but it is going to be Vertigo getting this one deep into the Gravity zone.
Oh, a rare mistake there on the misread on the trajectory of the disc off the backboard. Going to miss. One player going for the punch, not looking for the grab, but now they're going to get a lot of grabs on that disc as the shot is just astray, maybe trying to go for the pyramid play, but instead it's Team Gravity with a disc looking to pyramid some more points in this scheme of theirs as a Twang Pants comes in for the grab. Deep pass down low to Kai, but going to be contested by a pair of Gravity players, and indeed feeling the gravity weighing them down at the moment as they go for the clear, and now the inevitable boost.
Yeah, quick boost there from Gravity. They're going to get their first. Vitrax looking at that empty net, and he's going to take a shot 12 meters out, going to hit that for the 3, and now Gravity's up by 15. Still with just over 3 to go here in round 1. At this point, Vertigo is looking to stave off. It's still, they're not out of it, but the hill to climb here at 15 points in 3 minutes, it's going to be a difficult one against a team like Gravity. So, at this point, Vertigo is really thinking we don't want to allow a mercy here. We want to get some points on the board and do something that we can build off for round 2.
Yeah, it seems like just moments ago as that shot just misses barely. 2-3 minutes ago, I was saying lower scoring game of sorts, at least to start off. There were a lot of brawls coming in, and it was, 6 points for Team Gravity at the time, as a mail slot is going to be taken out there. Just, again, the speed undoing any good thing that Vertigo is trying to get going, and it will result in Team Gravity again getting this potential turnover as the Suns come through. But yeah, in a very quick succession, Dimwi, it went from 6 points and ballooned to 15 as Damus goes up high to Twang Pants.
Yeah, and you see Vertigo trying to break in on the bubble. They do a good job there, and they get it in. Twang pass to Davis. Davis going to bring that one in for the 2. Finally get some points on the board here. And you can see that's how you want to set up on the bubble. It doesn't matter who you're playing. When you're playing against a good bubble defense like Gravity has, you have to be patient with it. You can't force it in. You have to make those passes outside of the bubble to pull those defenders out. That's exactly what they did. They made room for themselves in the bubble, and they were able to get those 2 points in there. Beautiful goal there from Vertigo. They earned that one.
Absolutely. It's not been easy going for them whatsoever, with Team Gravity starting to pick up that speed and the heat of that pass just perfectly placed to Lewis's hands. He's going to work it up the floor, recognizing he has that pass down low. He has a pass across via Trex. He's going to double cross for the 2-point score, and it's 17-2 Team Gravity.
Yes, great play there for Vitrax, getting into that high scoring area right in front of the goal. One-on-one with the goalkeeper, and he's going to be able to put that one in for the 2. That's going to push the Team Gravity lead back up to 15. A minute 17 to go here. Once we come out of the tubes, it will be Vertigo once again with that joust advantage going to be taken there. Sent to that left tube, but a beautiful intercept there by Vitrax, trying to set that one in for the 3, and now it's going to bounce around a little bit. But looks like Gravity's going to get another opportunity here on offense with a minute to go.
And round 1 here firmly in the hands of Team Gravity. So it is a best of 3 in these initial rounds. Of course, for the lower bracket and upper bracket finals, will be best of 5 situation going on. But at the moment, I was like, misplay, almost gonna cost them, but luckily it does not. So Damus with a disc goes to Twang Pants. They have 43 seconds left and counting as they just try and get to the other side, but unsuccessfully, because there is Al Pacino. He gets it to Simon. Simon gets it in for the goal. It's 20 points. It's Team Gravity in this first round.
Yeah, that was a great grab there from Al Pacino, and then he's going to send that one up to Simon. And Simon's going to set that one in for the 2. And as you pointed out, 18-point difference as we count down 15 seconds to go here. Once we get out of the tubes, it will be Vertigo with that joust advantage once more. Damage sending that one to that left tube. Does hit, who's that? Kai trying to forward that one to Sanch, but can't get it through. Now 6 seconds to go. We are going to see the end of this round here, 20-2 in favor of Gravity. They're going to get one more shot here. Oh, no.
Oof.
Ooh. I almost called it a little bit earlier there, but we'll be 20-2 in favor of Team Gravity here after round 1.
Yeah, just trying to pile on even some more points yet towards the end there. But 20-2, evading the mercy situation, but Team Gravity certainly feeling good after that initial few minutes of slower play, of great defense coming in from Vertigo. And it got them, again, exactly what you would expect from Team Gravity if they were allowed to get that speed going. As it was kind of a slow build-up that turned into the snowball effect once those open threes started going in. Back-to-back from Simon really is where it started, with some 2 huge ones from beneath that goal. Very, very huge hits. And just leading the way for his team here.
And just looking at the stats, what's really interesting to me is because I referenced before the game, and you pointed out it was kind of happening, at least in the first half there, where we saw a relatively low-scoring Team Gravity in this round. And if you look at the saves for Vertigo there, 3 to Damus, 2 to Kai, 1 to Twang Pants. That's 6 saves. That's not a couple. That's a few there. And that's definitely what contributed to that initial low scoring Gravity first half from Gravity there. That's a lot of saves to make in a single round there at this level of play. But game high points currently to Simon with 11. The only player with double digits. In fact, the only player with more than 2 goals on the game. Simon definitely kind of popping off there in round 1.
Yeah, seems like our stats may have not updated there on the overlay side of things, so our apologies for that, but we'll make sure to give you a good read on them. Regardless, as the first pass, just handing it off to Vitrax, but good save, Damus. So Vertigo, if nothing else, they do at least start the same way they started round 1 with some good defense, but they can't hold them for too long because Lewis finding Vitrax up at the anchored position above the backboard, and that's going to be the first score going right back to Grav.
Yeah, usually a lot of times when you see plays like that, I'll point out, you can't leave that guy open. They didn't. Yeah. Vertigo did not leave that guy open. They had a defender on him. Defender tries to stop that from happening, but it's just not good enough. Gravity's able to put that one in. Nonetheless, it's 30 seconds in. We have our first points on the board there for Team Gravity, now up 2-0.
And Sanch going to Kai right back again, see just the way they're trying to maneuver in kind of a triangle formation of sorts in that mid lane to work around the stacks. It's a very tough going of things trying to do it, but so far they at least get it to this side of the floor. But now Gravity, again, just breaking off and just trying to cause these turnovers purely based off some great redirects on that speed. Look at that, coming in hot, and now getting the disc almost. Maybe a shot attempt from Sanch, but Viatrex, the turnover cause.
Yeah, now this one deep into the Vertigo zone. Gravity's looking to get there first. They couldn't get the grab on it initially, but all right, that was, wow. What a stop there from Twang, though. That was a great setup from Gravity. They took that extra pass because they didn't have the angle, and Twang is able to get the stop on that. So turning this one around was Vertigo, but now back in the hands of Gravity. Looking to turn this one around, put some more points on the board here in round 2.
So very similar actually to how we started round 1. You see the great defense being played from Vertigo. There's a great speed coming in. But Vertigo, yeah, opened up the same way where Gravity had those first couple points. Then Vertigo got themselves an open 3 opportunity that they just couldn't convert. So almost mirroring what we saw a few minutes ago. But Vertigo, they've got the disc. And as they continue to evade, perhaps unsuccessfully this time, it will be Lewis with the disc and now back passing it to Alp.
Yeah, wow, what a pass there. Viatrex under pressure from Damus. He's able to get away with that one, and he just kind of tossed. I don't know what I just saw. Viatrex kind of just handing that one off to Simon to let Simon put the points on, as Viatrex definitely had an open shot at the goal. So Viatrex definitely being the teammate there, wanting to get to Simon some stats on the board here. Some more stats on the board, I should say. Simon already had 11 points on the game, and Simon with another 2 there. Now Gravity's going to take that 4-point lead with 7.5 to go here in round 2.
So again, slower start, but we know how fast that can change, essentially on a dime. So not going to concede the fact that this is going to be how the pace plays out the entire match thus far. Very similar start as the stacks do come through and just overshooting off of some stuns. So Damus slapping it down to the other side. Actually, a beautiful delivery to Kai. Right space, right place, but losing it. And Viatrex again with a clear and reception. But Sanch gonna plant some punches, allowing Twang Pants to recover.
Yeah, the speed from Gravity stacks has just been it's so hard to deal with here for Vertigo. It would be hard to deal with for any team, but nice steal there from Sanch. Sanch now moving in, sending that one across, but it's going to be right there into the hands of Lewis Ammo, who's going to send that one all the way down into the Vertigo bubble. Bit of a race right here. Gravity's going to, well, they get to the area first, so they finally get the disc there. Simon going to send that one up high to Lewis Ammo. Lewis Ammo coming in on the goal there. Viatrex just waiting on the goal, disrupting the goalie, and the defense going to pop that one in for the dunk there, and put Gravity up by 6.
So right, again, still mirroring what we saw earlier on. The first 6 points for Team Gravity. Simon, 13 points thus far, leading the way. On the other side, 2 points for Damus all alone there, and the 24 stuns, 27 for Kai, 24 for Sanch. So definitely the brawl is a factor, but just not enough to give them these scores. Every time they get on this side of the floor, it's just that speed from Gravity. There it is again. Like, you see how precise that speed is. The shot just gets saved from Alp.
You know, that's the answer. I mean, that's when you have fast stacks that you're having trouble dealing with, and all. What nice steal there from Kai. But that's what you have to do, kind of squeeze in that formation, get those quick passes off. They do it there. But that rush back to goal from Gravity was just phenomenal there to make a big stop on that attempt. And now Gravity turning this one around after forcing another turnover here from Vertigo.
So Viatrex from that corner, having it stolen nicely. The bubble defense has been pretty nice from Vertigo overall. It's just, again, the speed, some of the open threes. Al Pacino getting another chance at it. Gonna go for that pass up to the corner. There's some more good stuns coming in this time from Kai, who does get the clear. Looks for Twang Pants in a right hurry as they maybe have an opportunity to get that first shot of round 2. Here they go. Twang, the delivery miscommunicated, however. So another one of those missed opportunities where they could have potentially cut into that lead and started building some strength.
Yeah, it was another good opportunity there for Vertigo. They've had a couple good looks, particularly in the second round. Still just under 5 to go. It's only a 6-point game, so Vertigo's still in it here. They still have an opportunity to take this round, but Al Pacino going to forward that one up there to Simon. Simon now has a lot of room to work in, moving in, going to cross that one over there to Viatrex. Viatrex looking for that hook shot. It doesn't go in, but Lewis Ammo is there to get that rebound, and he sends it in on the open net, and that's going to be good for another 2 here for Team Gravity. 4.5 to go. Gravity up by 8. Vertigo, they got to capitalize on the opportunities that they're getting. They've had a couple. They haven't been able to put it in on those. They have to capitalize on those if they want to come back here in round 2.
Yeah, absolutely. And the thing is, the possession time, it's pretty close to equal. A little over 5 minutes of possession for both of these teams. So just a lot of that ping pong play as these passes go through. But you can see it's really just the speed of Team Gravity purely causing this trouble, because every time Vertigo gets the disc, they feel so immediately pressured a lot of the time to have to just get rid of it somewhere.
And they've been Vertigo's passing in the offensive zone has been amazing. They've had some really, really great pass sequences there. And you reference how possessions about equal. Team Gravity had over a minute of possession time advantage in round 1. So that shows you how much Vertigo has been doing controlling here. And a long shot there from Gravity there, but that one's going to go just wide. Gravity now back in control after forcing the turnover. But yeah, Vertigo, their control in this game has been phenomenal. Their passing has been phenomenal. I love what I'm seeing. But that defense from Gravity, it's reminding me of the defense we saw from Infinite the other day against Joker. That bubble defense that was just unstoppable. But Kai going for the shot there, trying to get a quick shot on the turnaround just off the mark. Another opportunity. Sanchez trying to find Davis. And he gets it in for the 2. And now Vertigo with 2 points on the board. 3 minutes to go here, only down by 6. They are still in this game.
What a crafty play that was. So even though the first catch missing a little bit of being able to recover on that disc, immediately let it loose and get the first goal there. So incredible move from them. We do have a rematch. It looks like a restart rather. So something going on there on the player's end. But yeah, a very lovely way to at least get started on the score sheet for Vertigo after all the intensity that they have been showing both sides of the floor. You know, those, like you said, they've been aggressive. They've been looking good on every end, just except for the offense. They haven't been able to really convert on those shots. But I mean, every other aspect, thumbs up. And less than 3 minutes left after this reset of times and scores and what have you. They're still going to be in this, Dimwi.
Oh, they absolutely are. I mean, it's only a 6-point game, just under 3 to go. And I just for anybody who's not all that familiar with the competitive Echo Arena scene, what we just saw, that was a restart. And usually that's due to a tech issue. It's colloquially referred to as a tech timeout. So effectively, we're seeing a kind of a sort of timeout, a form of timeout. We don't generally refer to it as a timeout. We refer to it as a restart. But that's kind of what we're seeing right now. Presumably, we don't know as casters, we don't know the exact reason for the restart here. We just know somebody was having some form of technical difficulties, and so they went for that restart. But yeah, as you said, this is still a close game. Vertigo, this round 2 Vertigo team has been so good with their passing.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the answer. It's kind of a debate we've seen over the last week. How do you answer to a fast, accurate stack? And that's Gravity is so accurate.
I think we're losing you a little bit, didn't we? Or maybe that's just me, but okay, maybe I think you're back. We lost you just for a moment there, didn't we? But all good. We got the majority of what you said, and I agree. The passes really looking strong. The defense looking strong, but it's the speed really. Because the thing is, the passing play from Vertigo, as it has been throughout most of the season, they're one of the better passing teams you will find for sure. But when you're pressured so quickly by that speed from Team Gravity and unable to get that stack breakage on the re-grabbing players, you know, getting that extra momentum, it's tough because every single pass from Vertigo basically has had to be extremely on point, extremely precise and fast. And that's kind of a tough combination when you're just dealing with all of that frantic play, trying to somehow stay collected and make sure that every pass is as on point as it needs to be, despite the fact that you're feeling all the heat from that impending doom of Gravity's approach. So we do have the restart, though, finished here, 8-2. 14 Gravity, they're going to have the Joust advantage. So here we go. All right, so off the rollout here, Team Gravity via Trex going to mid. Vertigo trying to defend a bit with a stack of their own. Simon has a lane, has the jukes, however, and tries to back pass it, but just misses. So if Vertigo can find themselves a boost here, they're going to be able to cut into the lead a little bit more, but they got to hurry up with the reversal dunk right under the post, posting up. It's a lead cut in half now, 8-4, still favoring Gravity, but that's a nice move from Sanch.
Yeah, what a goal from Sanch. If Sanch had 2 goalies, 2 defenders get to the goal. there was a 1-on-2 situation there. Sanch thought about sending it in, and in thinking about it, he throws out the both of the defenders, and he's able.
Dimwi maybe being lost again, but that's okay, because you know what you found, chat? You found me. As Lewis goes for the 3. It's 11-4, less than 2 minutes left. That is a big burial of a shot, perhaps, favoring Team Gravity. So less than 2, and again, that still technically time, but that could very likely be a dagger. Those open 3s really being just a huge factor coming in from Team Gravity across both rounds. So Simon does collect the disc here, goes for the backboard. It's going to be gently wound in. Lewis, a nice fake just to take it in on an open goal. So with 1 minute 15 remaining, it will indeed be Team Gravity. Looks like in good position to come up ahead. And just an effective match all around from the speed point of view and from those open 3s, often as a result of that speed. So Twang Pants looking over to the pass. Damus is going to make it for the 6th point. Less than a minute left, but scoring again here for Vertigo off of just a good fundamental pass right down the middle.
Yeah, it was a beautiful little passing play there from Vertigo. We saw Vertigo in the second round here really pick up their pass game and really make it difficult for Gravity. But yeah, Gravity pulling away in this one. 30 seconds to go here. It is still a 7-point differential. That's 3 goals. So this round 2 definitely firmly in the hands here of Gravity. Is looks like Vertigo trying to get some more points on the board here. Kai sending that one over to Sanch. But Sanch under a lot of pressure there from Viacheck. So now this one's going to turn around Gravity. Sending this one away with 17 seconds to go. That 7-point differential. Yeah, Gravity's going to get this one in 2.
Yeah, so Simon going to float on through. It's going to be Sanch actually getting the disc right back. So as the time does wind down here in this second round, Team Gravity coming up ahead with a sweep. One last shot, actually, just barely off there. But there you have it. I mean, Team Gravity going to pull up ahead. For Vertigo, they're still going to be in this as they do go into the lower bracket there. It is a double elimination tournament across these 2 days. So Vertigo still a chance to offer that rebuttal in the lower bracket. But Team Gravity going to go on to face on stream here the winner of Phantoms and Washed Up, which is occurring over yonder on VRML Channel 2 over on the Twitch side of things. And meanwhile, for everyone here, joining us as well on Facebook Live and joining in Oculus venues especially, stay tuned on this stream for the next match, which will, no matter who it is, it's going to be a barn burner, rest assured.
No, Gravity plays in the next round. It's either going to be Phantoms or Washed Up. In either case, it's going to be a phenomenal series there we have coming up next on this channel. But Vertigo really did against a team like Gravity. You know, you can't look at the scoreboard and think that tells you the whole story of the game, because it doesn't. Vertigo really brought it to Gravity here, particularly in the second round. In the first half of both rounds, they did a really good job of stopping Gravity from running away with the lead early on. Now, Gravity did have some really good second halves we saw in both rounds. But yeah, Vertigo in that second round, though, their passing game was so phenomenal. And I mean, that really just shows you, whether or not they make it through to tomorrow, that I mean, that's something they're going to be able to build on. And I guarantee you in season 2, the Vertigo pass game is going to seriously hamper some of the change we see from some of the other teams in the league.
Oh, absolutely. Swift mentioned it a bit in the pre-show. Swift over there from team Nant Esports, formerly known as Fusion, earlier in the season. But he mentioned just indeed the huge improvements and strides you're seeing from so many teams across the league and in Europe too. Like I said, Vertigo is one of those up-and-coming teams. I mean, they've earned their spot here for a very, very good reason. They've ended at the 4th seed there in the Silver Division in Europe for a good reason. They're a team who is looking to impress for sure. They impressed all along Season 1, and they can still, again, have an opportunity to come back and show their stuff against whoever the losers of that Phantoms and Washed Up matches. So definitely looking forward to seeing that.
And real quick, just on the topic of Phantoms washed up, apparently, now I'm looking at the stream, I can't tell the score. The scoreboards don't appear to be accurate, but apparently they're going through round 3 over there. So it's definitely something worthy of checking out there if you're interested in what's going on over there between those two teams.
Yeah, absolutely. And wouldn't be the first time Phantoms have been in a round 3 situation, or that they've looked like they could be beat. Now, of course, if that happens here today, well, that's as timely of a moment as any to hand them a defeat. But again, can't count them out either, because Phantoms have just shown, even at times where it looks like, oh, this might be their first loss, nope, doesn't happen. But again, in these situations, playoff championship situations, you're searching for that glory, and the pressure's on. These are high pressure games for sure, so anything could happen. You never know. But yeah, as soon as that match does finish up, we'll be seeing the winners of that right here on this channel. Now, in the meantime, for those who want to tune in to that one, definitely do so. For us over here, probably reorganize ourselves in a moment and be back with you. But again, I appreciate everyone for joining us wherever you are. Facebook Live, Oculus Venues, Twitch, and what have you. It's just been a fantastic season. Lots of excitement and lots of peaks on top of peaks, didn't we? Especially in the last month or so. It seems like we're just ever since the Quest version of Echo went into beta, it's been a wild ride in the community.
It really has been. And a quick shout out to anyone and everyone who's watching over there on Oculus Venues. That's one of the few. Like I have over on my other monitor, I can see the Twitch, I can see the Facebook, but I can't see everyone over there in Oculus Venues. So thank you everyone for tuning in. All of you who are over there, I got to give you a shout out because I can't talk to you in chat. But this has been the whole season, the postseason has been ridiculous. So the season, as we got to the end there were a lot of really close races, and it was really exciting near the end of the season. And then once we got in the postseason, we saw so many upsets, so many teams that weren't expected to get that far get really far. And one of those stories in NA was Wireless Jacks getting into the close qualifiers. Now they didn't get into the finals through that, but they got as far as they got. They were very happy with how far they got in the postseason. And then of course again in NA, the team of Instinct getting all the way to the finals through a team that really kind of got in last minute and just earned their place and have gotten all this way. And so it's just, it's been a really exciting end of the season here in season 1 VRML community run stuff here that's just been, it blows me away. And you got so many people to thank for that. Of course, we'll definitely get to thanks later on in the day, but for right now, it's just it's been a very exciting season and really exciting
as we lose out on Dimwi for a moment, so I'll just pick up where he left off. Yeah, the effort's been amazing from the casting crew, from the players, from just the cameraman, everyone involved here at the community level for VR Master League. That's the beauty of it. Everyone involved here are players volunteering their time, and happily so. I'm always glad to be here casting these games, watching them, because aside of being an Echo Arena player, in the past competing, it's fun watching teams compete. It's fun watching the growth of the meta. It's just a great time all around, and I'm glad to be able to do it with this crew of people and to do it as well as we have. It's been a fun collective effort, I think, and it's just getting better over time as more and more people join. Especially, I'm almost terrified, but in a good way, of what we could be looking forward to and what to expect from season 2 of VRML. Just based on the signups recently alone, there's going to be an incredible amount of new teams.
I'm gonna be honest, Palidore. I'm gonna be honest with some of the things that have been happening recently and all the number of teams that are signing up. It's starting to feel a little intimidating. I'm gonna be completely honest. It's starting to feel a little big, and I don't know how to do it because I mentioned a moment ago it's all community ran, and it's had that community feel to it.
And picking up where Dimwi left off again. Luckily, most of this is happening now after the fact, but apologies for that. But nonetheless, the fact that it is community run, and I think, needless to say, we're going to have to get a little bit of a adjusting and accommodating for all these new teams, because one of the things I think we're most proud of, especially throughout the season and throughout preseason as well, ever since November, is the fact that the vast majority of games, they do get casted. They do get featured as often as possible. We don't try. It doesn't matter if you're master tier. It doesn't matter if you're bronze, silver, or gold. We like to feature the players at every given opportunity. And yeah, a big point of pride for sure. Just being able to feature all those teams. And for those who maybe are interested in joining the league, for those of you tuning in who aren't really aware of Echo Arena, or maybe you're not well aware and introduced into the competitive scene of Echo Arena, for VR Master League and its format here, we do operate based on a ladder system on for weekly matches as well. So the thing is, every Monday, teams get a pair of matches per week assigned to them. It's based on a internal MMR that's based off of just a team performance as they build a record. So each week you're facing off teams within relatively similar skill zones and similar tiers. Generally, bronze will face bronze, silver will face silver. There's some overlaps here and there, but again, the overall differentials are made so that if you're one of these numerous new teams coming into the league, for instance, or you don't have, maybe you're a veteran and don't have extreme competitive experience. We've seen a lot of teams like that in Season 1. You can still come in and you can still feel comfortable knowing that you're going to be matched up against other teams that are on your same level or relatively near your skill level. So, the more signups, the better, obviously. And yeah, I highly recommend for those who haven't signed up yet to start looking for your teams for Season 2, because you guys are going to be able to grow together, face off together, climb that ladder. Maybe not together. That's kind of the idea of a ladder, right? But that's the point. So definitely join in and all that good stuff. It's a fun time, I promise you. And just by the way, don't worry, I'm not cutting off Dimwi here. He's, I think, taking care of his stuff, so hence why I'm just in chatty mode. But yes, worth noting too, again, the flexible scheduling for VR Master League does mean that once you get your assigned matches on Monday, you're allowed and enabled to just organize amongst the teams you're facing against anytime in that 7-day span. So day or night, morning, otherwise, you can play those games throughout the week, be casted, have things to look at and to improve on, have just get your name visible out there, which is definitely what we've seen from a lot of players on both sides of the pond, where kind of some unknown factors, they come on into the league and suddenly they start pulling out all the stops and looking crazy good, and then finding themselves kind of with a lot of suitors from these other teams. So just another good reason to have as much featuring as there is. Really enables everyone to get their names out there. It allows iron to sharpen iron of sorts. And yeah, everyone gets a little something. Everyone gets basically whatever you put into the league, whether you're casual, hardcore, or casual core, what have you. You will indeed be able to get something out of Echo Arena and out of VR Master League. So, all right. I think I've substantially done my job plugging there, but it's for a good reason. I want to see you guys join. So, yeah, good job on all that. Looking towards the third channel there. If it's still a close game, or the second channel rather, Phantoms and Washed Up in the third round. Phantoms are currently up by 6 points, however, with about 1:40 or so left. So potentially still in the books, or in the run, is Washed Up, but Phantoms looking to close out. So we'll see if that does become a factor here. And we're going to know who's going to be on this stream in a hot second, in a hot minute at least. All right, so as that game does conclude, we are now going to adjust real quick. Go to the pre-show sorts, not the panel, but just the intermission. And we'll be right back as this next round ends on Channel 2, and we get set for our semifinals. That'll be fun. So be right back, folks. All right, ladies and gents, welcome back once again to everyone joining us here today in VR Master League. We're about ready to start off this, no doubt, anticipated, exciting semifinals match between Phantoms and Team Gravity. It was Phantoms coming in off of what was a bit of a scare over there on VRML Channel 2, facing off against Washed Up. Went to 3 rounds, but as they have so often throughout this whole season, you know, even when they're brought to the brink, Phantoms just find a way to pull up those wins. Question is, can they do it here today against Team Gravity, the team who, in a sense, they upset Phantoms, then known as Backlash in the preseason. Team Gravity, the preseason champions. So this is going to be a very intriguing rematch of sorts from back then. Always exciting between these two teams.
No, it is really exciting between these two teams. These are two of the best in Europe. Now, just a situation for this game. Anyone tuning in, this is not a knockout game, as both these teams won their first round. But the winner of this game will be going to the finals. The finals. And so definitely some stakes on the line here. The team that loses will be going to the losers bracket. If they win the series after that, they could go back to the finals. But the team who wins this one here will be in the finals, and it will be Phantoms here getting that first one in just 11 seconds in. Sundance and Nillywick going to send that one in on the goalie and get the first 2 on the board here in round 1.
Great start for Phantoms, and that is exactly how they do it. You'll notice oftentimes, you might have seen it in the pre-show earlier with some of the individual highlight facts. Just every player on Phantom, very willing passers, but you will tend to see it being Nillywick, he's going to score an awful lot of those points, as though just a missed shot barely from Team Gravity, so could have gotten that nice 3. But yes, Sundance will do a lot of the passing, get an awful lot of assists per game, nearly completing it. But of course, every single player on Phantoms just fully able to convert on those goals and the passes, as the Team Gravity looking to convert on their own chance. There's Sundance, gets a partial clear.
Yeah, Sundance doing a good job on defense as Gravity had great possession there all the way up to that bubble. But Gravity momentarily in possession. Maddie got a good stun there, but it's going to be Simon coming away. But Maddie with the re-steal, sending it all the way there into that Gravity bubble. Gravity overshoots a disc and a shot there from Nillywick, but that one's going to ding off and get sent out now by Simon up to Vitrax, and Vitrax trying to get it out.
Simon doing what he does, just saving that disc. Simon had, back in the preseason finals, back in December, had 2 or 3 of the most clutch saves you will ever see, ever, in a big match situation to win in a first round matchup versus Phantoms. So he's definitely a factor, as Phantoms do roam for the goal. There it goes, but again a save. Al Pacino, the much more frequent goalie there of Team Gravity, getting it done and looking for the boost now. So up top will be taken by Simon. Lewis breaking off now, trying to space out, as a Team Gravity does tend to do. Both these teams, in fact. But Simon going for that pass over beneath to Al Pacino. Got the save, has maybe an assist opportunity. Just breaking himself now is going to be Lewis, waiting for the defense. And, well, maybe waited too long, because there it came.
Yeah, Phantom's bubble defense in this game has just been stopping Gravity from being able to make anything happen. Still a 2-0 game, 2.5 minutes in. That's a rare for both of these teams. And the fact that that's what we're seeing here with the 2 of them is really a statement to both teams' defenses. Both teams have notable, well-known offenses, but a great read there. Simon is going to get that one over the bow tie block, 19 meters out, sending that one through that the mail slot there. Good for the 3, and that's going to put Gravity up by 1.
Simon says, I got this. And he did. Simon, the high-scoring player, always putting on points in every game. Again, Team Gravity is much the same as Phantoms in the sense that Team Gravity, all the players capable of scoring, but definitely Simon, you're going to see him converting on those opportunities more often than not. His teammates more than happy to feed the beast that is Simon, as he does maneuver around the floor, tries to look for that pass, and does get it off over there as they reset now to Alp in the midfield.
And Gravity doing a really good job of cycling that disc around. Go for that long shot there, but Torin is going to make that stop easy and send that one all the way down. Both teams trying to get there. Gravity with the hands on it first, but a good stun there by Torin. Torin now has an opportunity as a man on the shield. Going to try to draw that defense out. Looks like held on for just a moment too long. Loose Ammo is going to come away with that one. And now the Gravity chain is away. Look at that. Look at that dribble. Loose Ammo sends it away, gets a chain partner, gets down there, receives his own clear in space and sends it in from 18 meters out without hesitation for a 3. And Gravity's now up by 4. Wow.
All right, so this might not be unfamiliar territory for Phantoms, even in the context of today's matches. Again, in that first round matchup on the other channel, going to 3 rounds versus Washed Up. So, you know, Phantoms, they've been dominant, 24-0 on the season, the regular season record. Coming in here with a speed. Will be taken by Lewis. But as I mentioned, in these type of crunch time or these clutch time situations at the end of the season, it's just everything is on the line as the stack gets straight in a line for the recovery. Over there, Nillywick to Torin, but just missing the first grab and will be taken out, and a failed clear coming in there. Will retain it now for Maddie, looking for a one-on-one play at the goal. Goalie diving out, 2 more replacing, doesn't matter because 2 more points on the board. It's 6-4.
Yeah, just a well-placed shot there by Nillywick. The goalie came out to challenge. She had no time, had to send it in. And that was with, as you mentioned, 2 more replacing the goalie in goal. And maybe it was the fact that there were 2 bodies there that made it easier for that one to go in. I know there are times when you see traffic, you think, you know, with all that traffic, I think I have a good shot of sending it in despite so many bodies there. It's because of the bodies that makes it hard to stop. And maybe that's what we saw there, but we finally get another 2 points on the board here for Phantoms. Not only down by 2, 4.5 to go here in round 1. Is that one taking a bounce? Very close to the goal there. Wow.
Oh, man. That would have been absolutely devastating and one of the most unusual bounces I would have seen had that gone in. But luckily, it did not. And so not paying for that awkward one, but going off here to the hands of Nillywick and Sundance. They don't really get a stat going, though. So just right back to Lewis, who looks way deep across. It's Simon. There he is. Uncanny ability to dunk it in and find the points. Back up again, a couple more.
You know what he did there? This is really easy to miss. As Simon comes in, first he does a little bit of a juke off of the post there, kind of unnecessary, just kind of more of a habit thing, I think. But as he came in, he cocked the disc back. He brought it back like that, brings it all the way back, sets it in that shooting position, and that's what brings the goalie, freezes the goalie out in that position, and then he ducks under the goal to bring it in for that backside dunk there. That was a beautiful, beautiful goal, and that's putting Gravity up by 4 once again here.
Maybe a forced pass there into what was ultimately a teammate defended by a couple of players, so would have been a tough recovery. Simon does get the disc back. There's a speed, there's a duck, there's the pass, and there's the score. That is the just exactly what you expect from these top-level teams. You see, he could have shot that first one, absolutely, but they went for the even higher percentage play by going to the backboard pass. That is elite.
Yeah, that was just masterfully done there. As a goalie, you have to keep your head on a swivel. Really, you have to do that every spot in the arena, but goalie in particular. Big play here from Phantom, sending this one in deep. But yeah, they confused the goalie a little bit with that play, but now it's going to be Phantoms trying to answer here. Still down by 6, just under 3 to go here in round 1. They're still in the game. And definitely a team that can come back and score. Gravity knows this. Gravity's not going to be letting up here in the last 3 minutes, as now you see Phantoms really slowing it down here, trying to find that way in and send that one into Torin, but Torin getting stunned up by Lewis Ammo, and now that's going to force a turnover here. Vichek's going to send this one away in the stacks. The race is out. Gravity's going to get there first. Lewis Ammo with the opportunity. 1 on 3. He can get it in on that reverse dunk, and that's going to put Gravity up by 8 here with 2.5, with just over 2 to go.
Big swing through move coming in hot. And right now, Dimwi, Team Gravity looking hot, more than hot. They are going supernova. Not in wink, but over here, Maddie losing the disc to Lewis. Coming from across the way from St. Louis practically to score that in. And it's 14-4. Again, Phantoms have bled before, but I'm not sure they've bled like this.
Yeah, that was not an ice. That was not a game ender, but that was a demoralizer. That's one that you're going to feel this late in the game, already down. They were already down by a few, and now they're down by 10 with 1:40 to go. Still not technically out of it, I don't think, but they're going to have to make something happen right now, and that's not going to happen there. Vitrax going for that boop shot, going to go off the backboard, but that one's going wide, and it's going to be grabbed by Nillywick nonetheless. So yeah, a minute and a half to go. Phantoms really, I mean, I don't know if we're out of mathematical time or not, but they have to score now if they want to stay in it. And,
almost a score from Team Gravity coming in there. So a bit of disarray going on. You can see again kind of that last turnover forcing a pass into the just awaiting arms of 3 defenders essentially. I know at this point of the match, of course, with just a minute left in emergency mode. They're in rush mode, of course, but at the same time, those are the kind of plays that will just buy extra opportunities for Team Gravity, who Phantoms, I can't afford to give them those. So here comes Phantoms. They're going to anchor down. It's Maddie just maneuvering, being patient, but Vitrax, the absolute stoppage right there in the goal with a cork, but still Phantoms retain.
Oh, no. That was an empty net opportunity there. That was going to bounce off the post. This was going to turn around by Gravity. And yeah, that Phantoms was in such a situation there. They had a 3-on, I think it was a 3-on-2. It might have been a 3-on-3, but they had 2 players crashing the net with the player with the disc, and Vitrax had an amazing stop there. Stopped that one from going in with 25 seconds to go here. Round 1 is firmly in the hands of Gravity as Phantoms are trying to do something here to build off of, but Vitrax with the read is going to get this one sent all the way down into the Phantoms bubble, going to bounce out of the bubble. But now the races are out, the chains are away. Nearly trying to get there, but he doesn't lose ammo. Going to send this one in deep. Does hit his teammate there, Vitrax, but that one's going to ding off the post 7 seconds ago. And the Phantoms are going to turn this one around and just burn the rest of that clock there. And but yeah, this will be round 1 as Gravity shooting on their own goal there to end the round. Yeah, round 1, Gravity 14-4 over Phantoms. The undefeated Phantoms here losing to round 1. Wow.
So could this be the day? This is twice, 2 matches in a row that Phantoms have dropped around to start this one off. So I don't know. I mean, 24-0 in the regular season, undefeated in series. They've lost rounds before here and there, but as far as full series, it hasn't happened. They've been, again, just the Phantom menace across all of Europe. So Team Gravity coming in their own space, looking to just force this loss and maybe hand what would be an incredible upset to Phantoms in this season. Yeah. So what a hot start for Team Gravity here in the semifinals.
No, that was an absolutely massive start here for Gravity, getting that victory in the first round of the finals here over Vertigo, and then now taking the round 1 over Phantoms. I mean, that is absolutely massive here, and also notable. Both teams coming away with 4 saves, but if you look at Team Gravity there, every single player on the team coming away with 1 save. That shows you how willing they are to rotate around, and you got 3 saves there to Maddie on Phantoms, which is notable. Maddie definitely just a great goaltender there in round 1. But yeah, as we get to start the round 2 here, Phantoms have to pick it up on offense, and they have to shore it up a little bit more on defense here. I'm curious to see if they're going to be coming out with a more of aggressive stance here. Coming out, it looks like Gravity's going to be getting to that joust first there. Both teams coming out slow. It was a very interesting joust win there, Gravity. So Gravity's going to get a 4-on-2 opportunity here in the bubble, and they do 10 seconds in, get the first points on the board here. And wow, yeah, what a start there for Gravity here in round 2.
All right, foot is still firmly on the pedal and just feeling like they're in the driver's seat, I do believe. Team Gravity, absolutely. You mentioned some of those stats there. It's highly unusual to see a round end across this entire the 12-week regular season and then the last month, of course, of these intense matches and postseason. But it's really unusual to see Phantoms not having everyone with an assist already after that first round. Just very low scoring for them. But, as I said, when they bleed, they've still shown a incredible propensity for just coming back every time. Will it happen again, though, twice in a row on these streams? Who knows? But they got to make some moves and start finding that steady play of theirs that they have shown consistently over the course of the last several months.
Yeah, and that pass there, going to take a bounce off of that boost, and it's going to find the hands of Torin here. Maybe this is what Phantoms needed, but Gravity read that interception. They were away with that chain as the clear went out. That was absolutely phenomenal. My camera followed them the whole way, and yeah, that was a beautiful chain there from Gravity. That's what's keeping Gravity in it here. Is there that backstack with Lewis Ammo with an opportunity? Oh, he's trying to pass that one across there, looking for I believe that was Simon. but it's going to take that bounce. But still, Gravity in possession here. And they have that defender way out of position, so they have an opportunity here. They have room to work with. Oh, good stun by the goalie there. Torin coming away with that one, trying to send that one away, but Nillywick accidentally getting the grab, so he's going to send it away himself, but right back in the hands of Gravity.
And so Gravity looking once more. Al Pacino in the midline. They're looking to continue causing this disarray, this panic. That said, held on to it too long. So Sundance just giving a little look-see towards the back, making sure he has a room to maneuver around. And Phantoms now maybe looking for some of that control, but no, the pass a bit too soft. It's cut off very nicely by Viatrex, a extremely talented mid lane player, brawler, teammate all around. He does a little bit of everything, going for the passing play up high to the backboard. Lewis again with a score, this time from his boosting buddy, Simon.
There was a lot going on in goal there. You had two players in the goal, but they had designated a goalie. So one of the players came out to challenge, but as that player came out to challenge the passer, another player from Gravity came in to stun out the goalie, and that's what left the goal open, as the goalie was not in a goal position. And now an opportunity here. Ooh, Viacek sending that one in, but Maddie with the stop. But yeah, Phantoms had a whole bunch of players in goal there, but Gravity just picked them apart. And now, Simon with an opportunity, but he's going to get stunned out there by Nillywick. And now Torin trying to turn this one around here for Phantoms. Still just a 4-point game. 7 minutes to go here in round 2. Phantoms in possession now, trying to turn it around here on offense.
So here goes the passes, but just slightly off. Those are the ones you don't see him miss too often. A good stun from Maddie, though. He does sling it over immediately, but look again, the mid lane. Viatrex, like I said, he is just right ahead of the game, one step ahead. Now going for a step through on the 3. Just misses, dings back the other way, rebounds back the other way as Al Pacino just maneuvers around a trio of defenders, now exposing the one-on-one. It's Lewis. That's 3 in a row for Lewis in the second round, and he is starting to heat up as well.
Yeah, I could see it from the goalie's perspective. That one kind of wound him up a little bit. He had to do a lot of turning there. So by the time Lewis Ammo's coming in on the goalie is just turning around to respond to it and doesn't have enough time to see that shot's coming at him. And it comes at him low. Beautiful placement there from Lewis to put that one in on that bottom corner. And now Gravity with a 6-point lead here with 6 minutes to go. Torin now moving in on the bubble here for Phantoms. Going to back that one there to Sundance. Sundance now going to back it up. So they're going to reset here on Phantoms, try to draw that defense. You see Viacek's playing really deep, really aggressive there. But they keep those 3 players all around the bubble. So Sundance going to take that shot on the stun out goalie. Good for a 3. And Phantoms are on the board here round 2, over 6 minutes in, or excuse me, over 4 minutes in. Just under 6 to go. And now it's just a 3-point lead here for Gravity.
Big shot, timely shot, cut it in half. So with the 5.5 remaining, Phantoms have to feel really good about that play. Just finally seeing one of those goals go in. Didn't have to, fight incredibly hard the same way they have been the whole time. They just kind of walked it up. They got the stun and they got the shot. So good, efficient one on that. Maybe this can buy them exactly the momentum they need to start coming back. As Maddie does look for a play. There's a cross, and there they go, going for the 2. It's gonna be brought to a 1-point game. Phantoms right back in it now. As I said, they do this. They've got a lot of time to show that, hey, we're still the Phantoms. We're a force, and we do get, indeed, it looks like another one of those tech restarts, perhaps. So we're going to have that reset on the clock and the scores for a moment, but yeah, Phantoms starting to heat up and showing why they went undefeated.
No, yeah, and it was Torin was completely uncovered there on that far side post. Now they did get the chain came back and they did split off. They did the assignments correctly there. They had one player go after the passer, one player go after the receiver, but it was just a little too late as Torin was open right in front of the goal there, and so that pass comes in and he just sets it right in the goal. That was a beautiful goal there for Phantoms. Kind of your bread and butter sort of set up in Echo Arena. It's kind of the kind of setup that a lot of teams, once they discover it, they start seeing themselves scoring a lot more reliably. Maybe not necessarily winning more or winning less, but scoring more reliably, because it's such a, if you can set that up, I mean, you've already, if you can set it up, if you have that cutting man open, you've already picked apart the defense. So that's what we saw there for that goal. Now it's just a 1-point game. Gravity can still come away with this one. Phantoms definitely don't want that to happen. Phantoms 24-0 on the season. That is unreal. It's going to be unmatched for a long time, I think. But yeah, to pick up now, this is what Torin was worried about, though. When I was talking to Torin, this is exactly what he was worried about. Was that how Gravity gets so clutch in the postseason in in situations where they need to be clutch. And they're so far they're doing it again here against Phantoms in this semifinals.
Well, you know, the scary thing, too, about that clutch gene, as we see in Echo, as we see in sports in general, which Echo very much is. Just the scary thing is you would think that, hey, it's Team Gravity, it's the veteranship, right? They're showing the fact, yeah, this is a long-established team. They've been around since just about the very, very beginning of Echo Arena's lifespan there on PC, and now coming into this new era with all the quest uptick, But it's not just the case of that. Again, Viatrex, the lone member remaining from that 2017 roster, the other players on this roster, they don't have that same amount of experience, just duration-wise. But the thing is, they do perform when it matters, when it just comes to these big games. They did it in preseason. They're doing it again here so far today. And just for being a team that has several of these players, relatively speaking, newer to the game than some, it's just incredible to see them be so seemingly comfortable and calm and collected. And that's why Team Gravity is still an established org, an established team after all these years, just because that's kind of the mentality and the kind of players they prioritize getting. Of course, Phantoms, got to give them their props, as I often do. What I really like about Phantoms, that we mentioned in the pre-show a bit before, how they're a team known under many different names and some slightly different rosters, but really for the better part of the last year, coming into the season, the last season of ESL, and then coming into the preseason of VRML and season 1 here as well. It's the fact that they've built their team from kind of the ground up of sorts. They did it based off chemistry, not because they were necessarily regarded as, the number 1, 2, and 3 and 4 best players in EU at the time, but they built their name based on team chemistry and being arguably, perhaps unarguably at the time, especially last year, as being the best passing European team. And they've only carried it further into the league and into time. And now not only are they still a great, phenomenal passing team, but they're also individually elite now across the board.
Yes, they are. And now just to change gears just a little bit. So first off, if you are relatively new to Echo Arena, competitive in particular, what's happening right now, this is a restart. It's referred to as a restart. It's colloquially known as a tech timeout. Now, presumably someone's experiencing some sort of tech issue. We don't, in the caster's booth, we don't have that information specific as to what the issue is. But
I believe I heard Viatrex had some sort of sound issues, is what I heard.
So that's what we're waiting on right now. We're waiting for that tech issue to get sorted, and then to shift that into. So if you're new, if you're on the quest right now and you're watching this in the venues. In the Oculus venues, the Echo Arena for Quest right now is in the open beta, and even after, so it's currently free, and then once it's released, it should remain free. So you can actually go download that right now on your Quest and take part in this, not in this tournament, but in this the action of this game. Definitely my favorite game. It's basically the only thing I do in VR 90% of the time anymore. So that's available to you on the Quest right now for free. It's in the open beta. Absolutely. You can go play right now if you so wanted, or after the game before the NA finals. If you wanted to play between then, today is a great chance to do that. There's going to be a lot of people in there today and a lot of games to play.
Yeah. If you want to squeeze in some games between the two regions matches, I suppose by all means. It's the thing is with Echo Arena, for a lot of us players here, for me or for you, for Wit over on our cameras, all these players contributing to this community effort that is VR Master League. We know we know how good Echo Arena is. It's not by mistake that it's one of the longest sustained games in the competitive scene, in the VR multiplayer scene. It has lasted, through all these years, through all these seasons of competition and countless teams. It's because we know how good it is, and I'm just excited that finally the Quest user base, the incredible amount of Quest people coming in now, they get to see why the game is so popular and why we love it so much. Right there, Maddie's gonna love himself that disc, getting it, and now dishing it. Nilly Wick, really quick, goes up by 1 for Phantoms.
Yeah, Phantoms getting that 1-point lead here, finally getting the lead here, the first lead of this game. And just to end cap that business about the quest, because I see this question a lot, if you do play a quest and you want to play in the competitive league, you can. Absolutely 100%. Quest players are welcome in VRML. So if that's what you want to do it. We want more of you.
Yeah, absolutely. And as I said, because of the ladder system, you're going to be playing against teams of your similar skill rating. So open to all. But the moment it is indeed Phantoms coming back from behind, it seems like, but getting stunned out here. So there you go. It's Torin finding the pass over to the left wedge over by the tunnel. Al Pacino just recognizing he has to look for that stack and get back in there. They do go for Team Gravity. So speed playing a role certainly for both of these teams. But Team Gravity, unlike that match against Vertigo a little while ago, Team Gravity definitely being much more contested on those stacks and that speed.
Oh, and Vitrex with another amazing read there. Vitrex has been just a monster in the lanes here against Phantoms. He has just hit so many interceptions here as the Phantom's still in control here. Nillywick moving up on that far side. They have a 2-1 against the goalie. They go for that cross pass to Sundance. He gets it in for the 2. And now Phantoms are up by 3 here with 3.5 minutes to go here against Team Gravity. Are they going to be able to force that round 3? I don't know, but they're definitely contesting it right now. They're doing a really good job of it. That was absolutely masterful. They stunned out those defensive stacks from Gravity, giving them enough time to put that one in.
Yeah, never ever count out the Phantoms until it's done, until that clock is done. The so-called fabled mathematical time, as we coined in, as tutorial bot of Echo Arena fame has coined in the past, and just until that time is out, Phantoms are in it without a doubt. And at the moment, it seems like Team Gravity, we are starting to miss a few of their passes and starting to look a little bit off rhythm now in their own right.
Maybe getting a little frazzled by Phantoms, but not frazzled enough as Vitrex to Al Pacino behind the goal. It was Al Pacino who missed that initial impasse on the ceiling. Al Pacino instead goes to assault the goalie, sets up on the goal there, and gets that feed there from Vitrex, able to put it in for the 2. And now we're back to a 1-point game here. Still a lead to Phantoms, but 2.5 minutes to go here. Phantoms with the joust advantage here with possession. If they get some points on the board here, they're looking pretty good. But oh, what a turnover! Vitrex just still a monster here. And now it's going to be Simon moving in on the bubble. Does have loose ammo coming in up behind the goal. They have a 2-on-2 going behind the goal, but that one's going to be just wide.
So, yeah, again, we see that missed pass there, a bit of an unforced error. We're seeing a couple of those now from Team Gravity, whereas earlier, oh, nice move from Al Pacino, actually, to get it over there to Lewis. So, somehow maneuvering, but not converting on the play. So, a barely missed shot there, but will still be retained by Team Gravity. And as we mentioned, this is the ebbs and flows of Echo Arena. It happens sometimes. Certainly, Phantoms in position. They just need to find that clear, at the very least, to capitalize on some of these misplays from Team Gravity.
And you see, they went for that clear there with that bounce in the tube. Al Pacino, clearly he can read the curves in the tube there really well because he was exactly where that disc comes out off of that bounce. It's going to be Simon now. Under pressure from Maddie. Maddie ultimately getting the stun, so comes away with it. Does have Sundance deep. Sundance looking at an empty net. Takes a shot, hits it. 16 meters out, 16 meters a second. That's a 1-second goal. And that's going to put Phantoms up by 4 here with just over a minute to go.
Into the deep blue, and I don't mean to see, but I do see the fact that the Phantoms, they're feeling mighty good. They're feeling more like their normal selves. They're making their passes. They're making those connections. That one was just a classic right there. They found the straight line passes, the B line, and it got them the goal right in time to pull up ahead by a couple at least. So we could be eyeing that round 3. It's still not out of the woods yet, though, as a Team Gravity does look to collect that disc. But at the same time, just like I said, the speed for both these teams is just it's unfathomable, unfathomable. As that shot, it just squeezes through. What a huge hit from Nillywick.
That puts Phantoms up by 7. We're going to have 22 seconds to go once we come out here. That's round 2 to Phantoms. We've got a round 3, ladies and gentlemen. Round 3 in this semifinals between Phantoms and Gravity with a 7-point lead here. Phantoms is definitely going to be taking this 20 seconds to go. That's a 3-goal minimum of 3-goal difference there. So not enough time here as we've referenced before. We are out of mathematical time as Gravity is looking to put some points on the board here, something they can build off of for round 2. Lewis Ammo going to send this one in deep. Does have the chain down there. An opportunity here. Simon going to look for that shot. Takes a shot. Goes wide. And they aren't going to get those 2 on the board that they were looking for there. But round 2 to Phantoms, 15-8. We're going to round 3 here in the semifinals for Echo Arena in Europe. It doesn't get much more exciting than this.
But you know what? I think it's actually about to somehow, because yeah, that round 3, what in the world? I mean, shouldn't be surprising. We've seen this happen multiple times just among, again, Team Gravity, Phantoms, they're on top of their game. Especially now, Team Gravity coming back into the league after a short break, and just really, they're back to their unusual form. No surprises there. But Phantoms showing why that they maintain that undefeated record throughout the season with 24-0, because it can do stuff like that even when they're on the brink of defeat. At least thus far, 100% of the time in Season 1, they've been able to close out. But we got 10 minutes for Team Gravity to do much the same. And it's going to be interesting because 2 round 3s in a row for Phantoms, which is kind of unprecedented. But it's just, it'll be interesting to see if they do their Phantoms thing or not. I'm excited, Dimwi. This is going to be fun.
No, this is because this is the game to get into the finals. Now, as I referenced before the game started, the loser of this game is not out. They will go to that the what we're calling the bronze game, and that'll happen tomorrow against the winner of the team in the losers bracket over there on VRML 2. But yeah, whoever wins here is gonna be guaranteed spot in the final. So you know they're really, both teams are gonna be coming out flying here, and it's gonna be who's that? Phantoms coming away with that one on the joust, but very quickly turn over to Gravity. So Gravity trying to turn this one around. Both teams trying to get the first points here.
It looks like it will be Vitrex. He delivers right in a quick manner. We mentioned his midfield play, but just the veteranship, and the thing is, he can play any role that he needs to play on the field. Obviously, the roles being filled, scoring a lot of the time is going to come from Simon and Lewis especially. But Vitrex, do not sleep on him. He will do that to you if you leave him an open goal, or even if it's not open. He is a player who can do a little bit of everything as well.
And not to distract, but it does look like Washed Up did take Vertigo into over there on VRML 2. So Vertigo is out. F's in the chat for Vertigo there, as Washed Up will be moving on to that bronze game tomorrow. So whoever loses here will be playing Washed Up to start tomorrow in Europe.
Oh, look at that. Beautiful series of passes. I like the hesitation there from Lewis. He eyed the goal. He said, okay, this is an open shot. I could maybe squeeze this through the defender that was kind of trying to clog the shot lane, but instead went for the easier opportunity. As I said, that's what these teams do. No one is, at this level of play, no one is selfish. No one can afford to be selfish with the disc if they want to convert on those wins. So I like it. Maddie, he finds the disc. He gets it over to the right tunnel, and that's just going to be another quick beeline work up here for Sundance and Co. He's going to go to the goal. Nillywick feeding him, and Sundance converting it. So 2 points, and there you go, 6-2, Dimwi. Good passing.
That was pinpoint there. Sundance was covered. I mean, Sundance was absolutely covered there, and that pass was perfectly led in front of Sundance. Sundance reaches out to get the slap on that. That was perfectly executed there by Phantoms to get those on, especially after Gravity taking a 6-point lead just a minute in. That's absolutely massive here. So it's only a 4-point game in round 2, still just under 8 to go. Phantoms trying to chase this one down, but this one bouncing a little bit wild. So it's a bit of a chase where it's still, and it will be Simon coming away with that one, sending that one in, not very deep, kind of finding that trap area, and now turning back around into the hands of Phantoms, doing a little bit of ping-ponging here at mid, although Phantoms is going to get that one away. And now a good leech on the backfield there from Simon. Leech on Maddie as he stunned out Maddie's boost partner. So it's going to be Gravity again with the disc here one more time, and then turning it around again.
I mean, we meant, the phrase unstoppable force, immovable object. I mean, just it feels like both of these teams, when it comes to the stacks, they're both unstoppable forces. As Maddie, he's going to try and feed one right up high to the nest, looking for that pass down mid, but it's Simon with the great brawling, cutting it off. There's these stacks. Look at that. All 4 players kind of meeting at the same time for Gravity, right on the disc, and some of them pulling on through to maybe receive a pass, but now a force one. So a little bit of disarray, but not for too long. That's a huge stack coming in. 3 guys there for Team Gravity. It's Simon finding the goal.
Yeah, it looked like Sundance was there in the bubble, misread the bounce off the floor, and that's what gave that stack there all the room they needed to send that one in. And now Gravity with a 6-point lead here with just 6.5 to go in round 3. That's definitely what Gravity was looking to do here to start this round.
Did you see that pass fake from Maddie? He saw the stack at bow tie, so it just gave a little pass fake, and it did actually force the stack players to leave their anchors. So crafty move, but Simon, there's the speed yet again. So deep clear. The question is, who gets there first? It looks like it will be Team.
Oh,
Indeed, Gravity dropping it home. 3 points. Lewis, it's 11-2.
Gravity is absolutely running away with this right now. But that shot from Lewis, no hesitation from that angle, that had to be like 20 degrees there. That was a ridiculous shot, and that's good for the 3. And Gravity's now up by 9 with just under 6 to go. But what a shot there! Who was that? Was that Torin? That was ridiculous.
Torin with a torrid shot right through somehow the wickets of the defender. So either way, that in a normal situation, you'd say that was going to be an unforced error a bit, but credit to him. He somehow found the goal, and no matter how it came through, that's an important score to cut off some of this just damage and undo the bleeding being had as that deep shot just dinging.
Yeah, that was a ambitious shot there from the tube, and it's going to turn around now. So Phantoms only down by 6 currently, still a 5-minute game. The game is not over. Gravity has not won this by a long shot. Gravity knows that. Phantoms know that. We know that, and that's what we're watching here. Is that one bounces a little bit while they're through that tube. Al Pacino coming away with that one. Loose ammo going for that kind of a Hail Mary dump in, but it's going to be handled there by Torin. Like going wide of the goal nonetheless. And Torin now turning this one around for Phantoms. I can't keep up. Palidore, take it. I can't keep up. This is ridiculous.
SirDimwi indeed was with the passing play over there. Lewis finding it yet again, so the goalie diving out, but Lewis, the crafty maneuvers, just using those handles to find the space somehow and squeezes it right through for the goal. It's 13-5. There's 4:25 left in this third round matchup. And it is a best of 3, so it's whoever loses this, they're not out of the tournament as a whole. They'll go to the lower bracket, but it's still going to be a position that neither team wants to find themselves in without a doubt.
And now this one going to get sent in there by Simon into that bubble. Willie Phantoms back. And if I were coaching Phantoms right now, I wouldn't even know what adjustments to tell them to make, because Gravity's just not letting them do anything right now. At mid in particular, anytime Phantoms has a disc around mid, Gravity is just stuffing every single lane and stopping every single pass. So now Maddie is going to get the clear in, but look at that chain from Gravity. They're just not letting it happen. They're not letting Phantoms get through mid right now, and now an opportunity here. Vichek sending that one in, and he hits it. Oh my goodness, I don't believe it. 21 meters out on the fade, off balance with no hesitation. Vichek hits that for the 3, and now it's a 16-5 lead here for Gravity in round 3. What is happening?
What did I say? You don't sleep on Viatrex or he will put you to sleep. Doing so just there on the goal. They're up by a nice margin for sure with 320. It's still not out of the hands for a comeback, but again, have to act quick. There's another assault coming in from Viatrex. Has he been just huge in the midfield or what? There's a stack, huge on its own right as they go for the play, but losing each other, but not for very long, because look, the immediate reconnect immediately now on the clear, just down the center. You see how fast they act. Even when they make mistakes, they undo it with just good speed to recover.
Yeah, Gravity right now is playing out of their minds. They're standing in control of this disc. There are a couple fluffs. Lewis ammo. Goalie comes out to challenge Lewis on the ghost block, and Lewis takes that opportunity. He doesn't just get a goal. He gets that one for 3. And now Gravity with a 14-point lead here with 2.5 minutes to go. I got to do some math here. That's how many goals? 4. That's a minimum of 5 goals the Phantoms are going to have to score here to come back with 2.5. That is a hill.
Now, in a normal situation, you would say, yeah, Phantoms, they're a team that can do it, certainly. But in this situation, in this kind of moment, this kind of match, it's just going to be all the harder to accomplish. Simon looking for that disc, but slapping it out there was Maddie, getting it over to his stacked players over at midfield. But some more stacks coming through. The overshoot will result in Sundance taking it through, ducking through, maneuvering. Again, just crafty, so crafty as they score. Ooh. And finally, again, some of the bleeding being cut off, but now less than 2 minutes left, and they really got to start putting the foot to the pedals because time not on the side.
Yeah, and I referenced 5 goals needed here by Phantoms. Only one of those could be a 2. That was their 2 there. So if they want to do this in 4 goals, they have to score 3s for every single one of them. And that's a tall order. But Maddie going to send this one in. Does have Sundance. Sundance has, who is that on the Nillywick? Nillywick is going to get that one in. That's another 2, though. And so we're going to have about a minute 10, a minute 7 to go here. 10-point game. They have to start scoring 3s right now. Actually, well, with that 2 there, it's 2 3s and 2 2s. But wow, this is this is looking really good for Gravity here with a minute to go.
Yeah, shout out 2-2, and right now Team Gravity is going to be, well, they're going to be dancing their way to the finals. It would seem here as they just look to close out this final minute. What unprecedented again, the course of the entire season, 24-0, but it was Team Gravity just coming in with some incredible speed, incredible concentration, and just throwing Phantoms for a loop. That shot looked like it might have been online had it not been for the stack, but again, the time is just not going to be theirs. So yeah, Phantoms officially going to be handed their first loss of the entire season here in Post.
Yeah, and congratulations, Team Gravity have earned their spot in the European Finals, the championship game. Gravity will be moving on to that. Phantoms will be facing off against Washed Up tomorrow, the first match of the day, the only one that will be casted at that time. It will be Phantoms versus Washed Up for that bronze game, and that will be as Sundance brings that one in off a beautiful feed there from Torin. From that nest, Sundance going to walk that one in for the 2. But it will be victory here to Gravity. Gravity going on to the finals. Phantoms
Big
going
win.
on to face Washed Up tomorrow for that bronze game in that elimination match. Yeah, congratulations to Gravity here.
Big win. Yeah, what more is there to say? Team Gravity showing why they are mainstays in the league, in any level, at any given year or moment. Team Gravity is going to be there. They're going to be competing, and they're going to be winning championships. On the path to do so again here. I mean, one huge obstacle momentarily out of the way, but I will say, you want to know the really scary thing here, and it sounds counterintuitive, but this might be a good thing for the Phantoms in a sense, because one, they have a full day now to kind of reset their mentality, to sleep it off, just chalk it up to a loss. Furthermore, the pressure, as someone who's experienced this before, the pressure of finally losing a game, that can do wonders for the mentality, because it's unprecedented what they did in the regular season. So the fact that now the expectation is kind of out the window, now that they're not dealing with every single match where it's just, is this going to be the one they lose? Is this going to be the one they lose? Well, there you go. They've dropped their first match. They have time to recollect. The pressure and that kind of expectation is now alleviated. So Phantoms, maybe tomorrow, they can come back mighty strong and feeling maybe even better than ever after this loss.
Yeah, it's certainly something they can use as a motivator going into tomorrow, especially the pressure of that game tomorrow is going to be an elimination game. So there's going to be some added pressure there as well. So yeah, it's definitely something that they can use to move forward with. And as we've said multiple times, they're not out of it yet. They can still come back and face Gravity once more in the finals.
Yeah,
and take it there. So yeah, definitely looking forward to see how they perform tomorrow.
Without a doubt. Yeah, that will be indeed tomorrow on the streams, starting at the same time these ones did, of course. Quick look at the stats, just the same. I mean, Lewis, wow. I talked about Simon earlier on. He's usually, in most games, the one who's piling on a ton of points. Him and Lewis are kind of surefire strikers in this league. But yeah, Lewis, as you said, monstrous effort, 21 points. To go along with his assists, and wow, that's a huge game from him.
Right now is the time. I really wish we could see interceptions on this board here, because Viatrex, hands down MVP of that series. The way he played on defense just stopped Phantoms. It was everybody on Gravity was doing the work there. That chain was ridiculous, but Viatrex in those pass lanes was unworldly. I mean, unreal. Viatrex, hands down MVP of this series here, without a doubt. Just came out swinging, and yeah, like I said, I wish we could see those interceptions, because he probably has quite a few on the stat board.
Between him and Al Pacino as well, as I see him in the chat there. But that's one of the things too, because it's midfield play and things like that is a lot more subtle because it's in the context of, you know, people pay attention to the disc obviously when you're watching it, but really it's important to have that positional play from everyone involved. So when yes,
sorry, no, I gotta point out Al Pacino is in the Twitch chat right now saying don't ever give Vichek the MVP, don't stroke his ego like that.
Well, exactly. But yeah, I can't help but give that shout out, because just for midfield players in general, or just anyone who's not necessarily the top scorer game to game on their team, it's easy to kind of fall out of the mix in terms of what the focus is on from the spectator's standpoint. But really, just having that full team cohesion, having someone there to anchor down. It's not that these midfield players, it's not like Viatrex or Al Pacino or any of these other teams. I mean, whether for like Phantoms, for instance, like with Sundance there, or it's not like these players can't score at will and score a ton of points in a quick manner. It's just that in the context of their team, they're filling the positions and the placement on the field that they need to. But individually, especially at this level, all 8 of these players can easily get their own on offense on any given night if they wanted to. But playing as part of the team, it's in the game plan.
Oh, absolutely.
So,
and
love shouting it out.
Before we lose too many people over there in venues, I just got to do one more quick shout out. First, to everyone watching us in venues, I wish I could interact with you. I can't at the moment. But yeah, thank you very much for showing up there. And if you are on the Quest, you can go to the Quest store right now, download this game right now. It is in the open beta. It's basically the full game. You can play this game right now in your Quest, in your living room, wherever you are, your bedroom. You can do that right now. And once it releases, full release, as far as I'm aware, it should remain free. So you don't have to worry about, I got in the beta, but now I have to pay for the game. No, you can continue playing the game once it releases. It will be free. So definitely go check that out. If you haven't already, go download it right now. The experience of playing it is you can't understand it until you do it. Watching these games here, it's not going to do the experience justice. Go download it right now and try it out before we get to NA. We have 2 hours before we come back for NA. So yeah.
Look, this game is it's a sport. So beyond just an e-sport, it's a sport. So in today's day and age, especially, it's one of the lone ones you can play, and just stay in the context, of your home or what have you. You can put on a headset. You can play a sport. It's physical. It's team-based. It's all based on your full body motions. Everything you do. It's all about sports skills in real life translate absolutely incredibly over to Echo Arena. A lot of the players you see with success in the game, it's because they have experience with some sort of team sport, whatever that it is, whether it's baseball, football, hockey, basketball, and any sport. It's fantastic, and that's why, again, this game has continued to evolve and grow as a community and just as an experience over the years. Now, I do want to mention real quick, though, as well, the American Games, North American Games are coming up here in a few hours, so be aware of that. We're starting off North American semifinals at 11:30 a.m. Pacific time, which is to say about 3 hours from now. That's a pre-show start time. That is also, let's see, 5:30 UTC, or 18:30 as I try to math it. Yeah. So anyway, be aware of that. Definitely tune in. It's going to be on Oculus venues as well. So, subscribe to that event, show up for that one, and show up on the streams, what have you. Those are going to be some hyped matches just as well. Did I math wrong? I probably mathed wrong. I think Wit's informing me in my ear I math wrong. This is why I never math, chat. You see, you'd figure that I would know better after a season of attempting to do math that's more than a few numbers, that I wouldn't attempt to do it during the important matches of the season. But I did it, and I done goofed, I guess. So nonetheless, 3 hours from now, that's the low number that I'm good with sticking with. 3 hours.
Yeah, 3 hours from now, we will be back for that pre-show for the NA Games. We will have, it's going to be Kang and Joker. This will be that's who we're going to have here. And then Instinct and Infinite over on VRML 2. And but Kang and Joker, that game, that's when these two teams have not faced off in a final series ever. I don't think they faced off in a postseason ever. So this is going to be Yes, somehow. They almost did an ESL 3, but as I referenced much earlier today, it was Ouroboros, kind of two of the players from Phantoms on an older team there that knocked Joker out before they could play Kang in that final series for ESL 3.
Three, actually, I want to note, because Nillywick, he had just joined the roster specifically for the finals. He wasn't on the roster for the whole season, but at the very end, he was a very late kind of emergency sub of sorts, joining the roster for Phantoms. So yeah, that's a huge factor indeed. King, and I say somehow they didn't face King and Joker in a final situation, because for those maybe unaware, unintroduced, King and Joker, that is every time they offer the most incredible matches. That's a long time rivalry at this point. It frequently goes to 3 rounds. You see overtimes constantly. You see all these epic plays, and yeah, it's always an amazing series, which is why I always prioritize, like, if they have a match, I want to cast those matches, because that rivalry is just so good in terms of the gameplay it produces.
Yeah, if there were a definition of a grudge match, it'd be Kang versus Joker.
Yeah, and then of course you mentioned Instinct and Infinite there. Who Instinct, the underdogs, the big story with them was just the fact that they spent the regular season barely missing out on defeating the master tier teams in the league. They were right there solid in gold, but every time they went up against master teams, fell just slightly short. Many 3-round matches, many close 2-round matches, but just unable to close out. And then postseason happened. The Challengers Cup happened, and Instinct finally, they got that big win to advance. And it's been a good story to follow, if nothing else.
And it's just notable, they had to beat out, I believe it was Flare and Milk to get in here in that Challenger Cup. I believe it was Was it Flare and Milk? I know Milk was one of them. Was it not Flare? I'm looking over the thing. I guess it was not Flare. I'm trying to remember who that other team there. But yeah, they basically beat out Milk to get in, and Milk was one of those teams that is they were kind of right near master tier there for almost the entire season. And Instinct was able to come in and push them out in that open qualifier, and it was absolutely massive. Definitely the underdogs. And then they were able to come back in that closed qualifier. That's where it was. They were able to beat out Flare and Orbit in the closed qualifier, which is huge. Huge.
Ditto, Sir Ditto.
Yeah, it's just they were just an amazing team to get where they've been able to get to, and I'm so excited to see them play later today.
Well, and speaking of underdogs, you got the Andy Dogs, Andy W, for his team there on Infinite, coming in absolutely impressively off of the round robins last week with a huge, and I mean huge, series of wins against the preseason North American champions and Illuminati, as well as Team Joker, handing them their first defeat of the season that wasn't against a Kangorilla's team. So some of the most incredible defensive play that I have seen in that particular day, coming in from Infinite in multiple matches. So that's another factor for them. I mean, if they come in with that same fire, Infinite, who were definitely favorites in preseason to perhaps take it all, they show up with what they showed this past weekend, I would low-key call them favorites again, because they were just unstoppable. But that said, I think that will do it for us. So yeah, once again, everyone else there who's joined us, whether on the multiple Twitch channels, on Facebook Live, on Oculus venues, for those of you in the chats and on the Discords, thank you for joining us. I hope it's been as fun for you as it's been for us. Sorry I couldn't be there in the venue itself, but I'm glad we got that going. Definitely a super cool experience that we're glad to take part in. And hoping you guys tune in for the next one, which once again, a little less than 3 hours from now, 11:30 Pacific time is when the pre-show starts. But 3 hours, 20 minutes from now is when the matches start for North America in the semifinals. But until then, on this channel here, I've been Palidore. That's SirDimwi casting next to me. It's a wit on the cameras. Over on channel 2, so much for subtlety camming with SputnikKobra, Swiift, and Captain Canada casting on that end. So much appreciation to everyone on the crew end of things, and again to you viewers. Until a few hours from now, be happy, be healthy, be safe, be merry, be good to each other, and we'll carry this over to the credits right quick. So have a good day. See you real soon.